Hello, it's Getting Real with Hillary. I was thinking I wouldn't record anything because it's late. I didn't feel like putting makeup on, so here I am in all my glory. I did put lipstick on, I have to admit. So anyway, I was having a conversation with someone today. Well, there's two things I want to talk about. One is this book, How Will You Measure Your Life, which I was trying to talk about yesterday and I didn't remember the title. And the other is a conversation that I just had with someone about what I was going to create. So let's start with the book. How will you measure your life? And it's I went to University of Pennsylvania. They have a pen book club. And I don't normally like the books that they pick, but I read them. And I've learned a lot of very interesting stuff. One of them was about the introvert and how introverts are. One was called Pivot, where I learned I could just start small with some actions. Um, and a bunch of other ones. And this one was talking about how you measure your life. And the guy had been to Harvard, I think. And years later, he realized that some of his friends from Harvard had ended up in jail. And he just started wondering, like, how did that happen? And he goes through a lot of different topics. And he wrote it with two other people because he had been diagnosed with cancer. I don't know. I don't know if I'm telling the story right, but this is my take. Anyway, I just looked to see if he was still alive. And this was written in 2009, and he just passed away January of 2020. He was a very cool guy, very faithful to his religion, and he just the way he talks about raising his children and raising them in a culture where, gosh, so let's say, all right, so I was thinking about when my kids were little, we would go to the Sound Tigers game. It's a local hockey team, and we would, I mean, okay, I'm not proud of this, but we wouldn't buy tickets. We would stand outside and see if anybody had extras, and we would get in for free. Now, what were we teaching our children? I suppose you could say we were teaching them to be resourceful, but in a way, my real thought is we were teaching them to be a little sleazy and getting away with something. And, I'm wondering now that they're 24 and 21, what um, we didn't necessarily teach them hard work. Like this guy says that he would take his kids out when he was mowing the lawn and he would take them wherever he was working. He would take them and make work fun. And he had like three values. One was that they would love work. And I'm looking at my kids and saying, I don't know that I did that. So I'm not making myself wrong. I'm just thinking it was actually a very interesting book. I'm looking to see if I could spot it. But anyway, he was just a very interesting fellow, and it just made me think about, did we really set a culture for our kids? Now my daughter says when I start worrying, Mom, you taught me well. I'll make good choices. Like I know what's good, bad, right, wrong. So that's good. My son, I hope so. he was, if you read my book, you'll see he was more his influence was more my ex. So I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying it might have been a little different. So anyway, I'm not going there. But this book, I can't even think of how to say it, but it was a it was a very nice book. It was nice. It was good values. It was, he said the margins, if you take one step in the wrong direction, like one guy did one bad trade. Instead of owning up to it, he started hiding it and hiding it and hiding it and hiding it, and eventually put, I think it was Barclays Bank out of business and 1,200 or 12,000 people out of work just because he made one bad choice. And instead of just owning up to it, he hid it and it got worse and worse and worse. So he says one little bad choice can start you going down the wrong path. Again, I'm not doing justice to it. Um, This is a tribute to him, Clay Christensen, and How Will You Measure Your Life. Very interesting book. Okay, the next thing was I was having a conversation about what I want to get out of one of the courses that I'm in. And I was saying that I think I have expanded my capacity to love people in the past year or so, because before it was really like, before I started saying what can't be said, people would say something, I would take it badly and just get rid of them. Not knowingly, this wasn't conscious. Wait, I gotta block that light. It wasn't conscious. I just realized after a while that I didn't have many people left, because eventually they would all say something that I took the wrong way. So I started speaking up. I have people back in my life. I have affinity. I have belonging. I have connectedness. But what I still see is that the other side of me is I'm afraid that I'm going to do something. Like, let's say someone loves me. I know they love me, but I'm afraid that I'm going to do something, or they're going to get to know me and they're going to go away. Where does that come from? I don't know. That's like 2 years old. I made a mistake. I didn't even make a mistake. It wasn't even about me. But anyway, it's still left over from two. So what I created was that I would expand my capacity to be loved. And instead of fear, which I always have fear, I'm like afraid, is this going to be it? Is this going to be it? Is this when they're going to know? Am I going to get this person? Whatever. Instead of doubt and fear running my show, being the loud voice in my head, that love and possibility will be the loud voice, and faith and trust and peace and freedom. They would be the loud voice. Oh, you like my nail? Look at that. This one came off. I don't know why. The rest are good though. Okay, almost. Time to take the polish off. But anyway, I digress. So instead of doubt and fear being the loud voice, love, possibility, faith, and trust will be what I'm living in, which would allow happiness, freedom, and peace. Just saying it was awesome. Like, what would life be like? Wow. Happiness? Faith? I mean, I can see there's always like a low grade worry. Okay, what happens when I have to leave for those 2 months? Where am I going to go? Am I going to find a place? What happens if I don't make the money this month? There's always that running underneath, getting me a little nervous, right? Instead of just having faith, it'll work out. I'll find a place. It'll work out, right? Or, no one can love this. I get up and I pee a lot at night. Who could put up with that? Who could do this? Who could love that? There's crumbs in the sink. Who could handle that? Who could, the garbage can isn't on right. I mean, all these thoughts of why someone couldn't love me. It just never stops. That voice. Now, I can see it as not real, but it's still a little bit disturbing on some level. Kind of prevents real freedom and peace. So, if that voice was the lower level, love, possibility, faith, trust, freedom, peace, was the overall voice, what would that life be like? Whew, I could probably breathe. I could probably be happy. I could probably, like, I can see I don't ask for help because I don't want to bother the people. I'm afraid that they'll say they're busy and they can't talk. So what? Or I'll get 5 minutes and then they'll have to go. So what? I might learn a lot in the 5 minutes, but it just stops me from reaching out. So, places to grow. Not wrong, not bad. Where's my pen? I'm going to say reaching out. And the other thing I realized on this call was when I don't speak up, I spend a lot of time wondering, what can I say? How can I say this? instead of just saying, hey, I don't know how to say this, but, and doing it. That's my project, saying what can't be said. And that would be another way of creating love, possibility, connectedness, all that. So I'm going to write that down. Speaking up faster. So this has been good. I don't know that I did justice to the book, but in tribute to this man who I just found out passed away, how will you measure your life? Very interesting. And creating love, possibility, faith, freedom. I can't remember all the words, and allowing happiness. Why not? Nothing to lose but a little doubt and fear. Right? That would be cool to lose a little of that. All right. Anyway, I'm going on 11. So what? I'm going on longer. There's no rule. I can make it up. It's my show. All right. Okay. Let's see. What do I say at the end? CreatingLifeOutHere.com is my blog. My book. I have a book. Yes, I did. I published my book. The Second Piece of French Toast, available on Amazon. Give it a 5-star review if you like it. And Getting Real with Hillary. It's a YouTube channel. Who even knew what that was 6 months ago? I didn't. All right. Have a great night. Thanks.